There we go. So just a little bit of background, partly about myself as well. So I'm director of Sense Earth. It used to be called Sense Africa, but expanded to the wide Earth. And I also represent Eswatini here in the UK. So whenever there's a trade show, it's normally me that's on the stand giving out information all about Eswatini. So I've been going to Eswatini since 2000, and it was only 2021 when I haven't been to Eswatini. So I've been going back every single year and probably spending quite a lot of time there. So I absolutely love this kingdom. So, and this is why between myself and Claire, we have put this together to showcase it. So as you probably know, the price is £3,350 with the single supplement of 320, and it goes from the 31st of August to the 13th of September. And the price includes your flights, all the activities, all your accommodation, and dinner and breakfast at all places. So there's only really a little bit of extra to add to that would be your drinks and beverages. So there's lots of lovely wines out there, and lunch and the odd tips. And quite often people come back with a host of different artifacts as well, because we need to do a little bit of retail therapy whilst we're out there. So this picture here, this is of Nlawan, so it's the first place that we'll be stopping at. It's beautiful for walking. So Eswatini, as you can see, is still called Swaziland. It changed its name in 2018, but it's a small kingdom. It's about the size of Wales. Everything equates the size of Wales, but actually Eswatini really is the size of Wales. It's got a population of about 1.2 million people, and it's very easy to get around, and it's very, so the driving distances are very short. Initially, what we will do is we will fly to Johannesburg, and then we'll get a private transfer, which will probably take about 4 or 5 hours to cross over the border and into Eswatini. So you'll get picked up from Johannesburg Airport. So the kingdom of Eswatini is actually a kingdom, and the king Mswati III, he at the moment's got 14 wives. His grandfather, his father, sorry, King Sobhuza II, he had 72 wives. So yes, you might well meet royalty whilst you're out there. So it is an absolute monarchy. It's one of the few kingdoms left in Africa and in the world. So as I said, getting there, we've got, this is a little map as to where we travel. So you get picked up from Johannesburg. And as you can see, our longest drive is from Johannesburg to Eswatini. And then once we're in Eswatini, it's shorter driving distances, probably about an hour and a half to maybe 2 hours maximum between each of the different accommodation. So it's relatively easy, and then we spend more time walking, chilling, and taking in the atmosphere and immersing ourselves in nature. And that is the beauty about Eswatini, that we can do that. So quite often people ask me about vaccinations and visas. So if you've got a UK passport, you get your visa automatically, which is free when you come into South Africa, and then of course across the border into Eswatini. Vaccinations, I'm not medically trained, but I can give you a link to say which vaccinations that you would need, and that's on the Fit for Travel for Eswatini. And I'm sure Claire is familiar with that one as well and gives that out. So we can't actually advise you what to have, but what I would say is go and see your GP or go to a travel clinic, and they actually use the Fit for Travel website, and that's what they go by. But it's your normal general vaccinations. It is also a malarial country as well. So the eastern half of the kingdom does have malaria, although at the moment they're having a massive push to try and eradicate malaria in all of southern Africa, actually. So transport, we will have private transport between reserves, and then in reserves, as you can see here, this is Shani, you will have open Land Rovers. So when we're not walking, because I wouldn't advise us to walk in this area here amongst the lionesses, we will go out on safari as well. So you can't go to Africa and not go on safari. So here we have the Kingdom of Eswatini. You can see Swaziland, they still haven't changed everything. So this just gives you a little bit of an idea of where we are. So the western side of the map, as you can see, is the high veld, and then you've got the middle veld, which is the middle section, and then the low veld, which is the eastern side, which is your typical African savanna that you imagine sort of giraffes reaching up to acacia tortillus trees. So you've got the high veld, which is around I'd say 1,800 meters high, all the way down to the low veld, which is anything from 50 meters to 250 meters above sea level. So it's really varied as well. So it makes for great walking because you've got so many different types of scenery that you walk through, which is what I love. Absolutely love it. So the seasons. So when the seasons in Eswatini, you get a hot, wet season and a cool, dry season. So we're going to be walking in the so like towards the end of the cool, dry season. So that will be it'll probably be around. It's easy walking during the day, so be shorts and t-shirts or long trousers and t-shirts, and then you'll start probably putting maybe a couple of layers on in the evening. But it will be the dry season because we're in August, September is the dry season. So what I thought I would do is I'd just take you through the places that we'll be staying in, so you can get a feel of what sort of walks we're going to be doing and what you're going to see. So first stop, actually here, as you can see, this is we've got white rhino, which we will get up quite close to white rhino. And then on the right hand side, you've got the white fronted bee eater, which makes a noise a bit like this. So first stop, Milwani Wildlife Sanctuary. So this is the first sanctuary that was set up in the kingdom, and it's wonderful for walking in. You can walk anywhere you want in here. I do quite a lot of the different sort of like trails there, and we can just make a plan of what everybody's capability is. So it's really flexible on the amount of walks and the type of walks that we do. So in this particular reserve, we've got zebra, wildebeest, lot of the plains games, and then we've also got quite a few birds and crocodiles as well, which we'll see from a distance. We've also got the warthogs, which sit around the fire at night. So you'll definitely be able to see these. They'll just be walking past through the camp. It's just absolutely delightful. An accommodation that you're staying in, these are beehive huts. So they're all en suite, and throughout the whole of Eswatini, the majority of it, you can drink the water out of the tap. So it's all borehole water, which is wonderful. Then we don't have to worry about buying bottled water, and also worried about having to make sure that you don't get any stomach bugs. So you wouldn't get anything from the water. It's all just from borehole. So we have 3 nights in Lilwan where we have the opportunity to go walking. We will do a safari as well, and go out and see some other different species. And it's up to you if you want to go out, when we haven't got the organized guided walks, you can just go off and walk wherever you want to. Just let me know where you're going and when you're going to be back. And it's fantastic. And here you'll have antelope and things just walking past your front door. Next stop is Mkaya. Mkaya, it'll be about an hour and 20 minutes to get to Mkaya Game Reserve. And here they have got some of the large game and some of the main big game as well. So you've got hippo, but they've also got wonderfully, they've got black and white rhino and also buffalo there too. So we get the opportunity to go out on drives like this. So all these pictures I took myself, and I'm not a professional photographer, but yeah, I took all these pictures myself, and we were walking when I took this picture. I'm on the other side. So we were out tracking rhino, and we will do that too. So we will go out on foot and learn about the wildlife as we're walking through. And I'm very passionate about giving you animal facts and random information. Professionally, I'm an ecologist as well, so as well as a mountain leader. So I'm really passionate about you getting the most out of everything. So do test me with your questions. The wonderful place about Mkaya is that you get to sleep in these fantastic cottages. They are en suite, but as you can see, they're open to the elements as well. And this is just fantastic. Those little cottages that are just dotted along this riverine area in the most tranquil setting that you could ever wish for. It's just beautiful. So after Mkaya, we then transfer to Shlani. So we have 2 nights in Mkaya, and the next place we have 3 nights. And on the way there, we'll stop off on one of the projects that I have a lot of work, I do a lot of work with. And this is helping at some of the care points that are set up for AIDS, orphan and vulnerable children. And there's also a children's home in this particular care point. So we'll stop off and just have a little bit of look, and you can learn about what's happening. You're taking those rose tinted glasses off and see what's happening within the kingdom and have a genuine understanding about it all as well. So you'll have the opportunity to meet some of the children there and also the care workers too. And then it's on to Shlani. So Shlani Royal National Park has a lion, elephant, black and white rhino, as well as a host of other antelopes, giraffes, all those sort of things, animals as well. So we will again be doing walks, not in the lion area or the elephant area, but we will have the opportunity to go out and do some walks, again, tracking rhino. And we'll also stay in the most wonderful sort of rondavel mud huts. From here, you can go to sleep listening to the distant roar of lion. And I say distant, they're not going to be outside your rondavel, but you can hear a lion's roar over 8 miles. That's like 5 miles or 8 kilometers. So quite a long way. Whilst we're staying at the lovely Shlani, we're going to go and visit one of my favourite reserves, which is Umbaluzi. And here you can walk amongst giraffe, and they've got some wonderful trails where they haven't got the big 5, the considered dangerous animals. They've got a number of other different animals. We'll have this opportunity to go and see these giraffe, see if we can find those. You can get the opportunity to go out on foot and see these animals close up. So that will be one of the days that we will go and do that. And then another morning we'll go and spend in a local community, go and visit maybe a local sangoma where you can have the bones thrown for you, and maybe taste some traditional meal that I'll organise to get cooked for you as well. So it's a chance to actually really go and see a genuine community. After that, so we've had 3 days at Shlani where we've been walking, we've been on safari, and we've also been to a local community. We'll then make our way to Foresters Arms. Now, Foresters Arms, we've got 3 nights here, is based up in the hills. It's more like a boutique hotel. The food is absolutely fantastic. We'll have like 6-course meals. And from there, we will go and visit Malalocha. So we're now up in the Highveld. So we'll have a bit of time just walking some of these wonderful hills. And again, there's wildlife here too. So you may well see wildebeest eland, which are the largest antelope, as well as a host of different kinds of birds. And it's a different kind of vegetation. So it's really interesting seeing the different types of flora and fauna that you get there in comparison to the Lowveld. And when we visit Eswatini, they are really good at their arts and crafts. So there will always be the opportunity. I'll make sure that we have the opportunity to do a little bit of retail therapy. So here, this is Ingwenya glass. And I don't know whether you can work it out. If you stick your head onto the side, that's the beginning of an elephant that they're creating by hand out of recycled glass. But there are things like Swazi candles, batik, lots of grass woven baskets and jewelry. So there's lots of things, and we'll stop off and visit different artisans as we travel around the kingdom to give you the opportunity to see and maybe purchase a few wares as well. So there's always different things to do. So that's what I like about this itinerary. It's really varied. It's not all walking, it's not all safari, it's just a little bit of everything. And that's what Eswatini really is. It's like Africa in a nutshell. Got a little bit of everything. It's a bit of a scraggly gem. It's a real gem, but it's not a polished gem. So you really get to experience genuine Eswatini. So what to take? So here's a picture of a few of us out walking. So here, everybody is wearing the things that I have recommended. So it'd be a neutral coloured clothing. You can see people are layered up there, so we can start taking layers off as things get a little bit, as they start warming up. And I can provide a kit list for you as well. But otherwise, just some happy faces. Thought I'd stick Kathy in there as well. The birding, okay, being an ecologist, I am actually quite passionate about my birds. So anybody who's into their birds, I'll probably be pointing them all out all over the place. So if anybody is interested, then do let me know. But the birding is phenomenal because you're going through 3 different ecosystems. You've got the high, middle and low veld. It's extraordinary the number of birds. It's got 524 birds that you could see in Eswatini, and that's in just such a small space. So it's really good opportunity for birding. So there's lots of variety there. I just thought put that any questions at the moment, I'll open it up, but I just quite like that picture of the giraffe looking at us. So if you're interested and would like to book, then these are my contact details, and I'm sure Claire will give those out as well. But those are the contact details, so do get in touch, and then I know for some of you I'm already holding flights for you, so we can keep them within the price bracket now for your departure on the 31st of August. So I hope you've enjoyed that. I'll now log myself out of that.